What's up YouTube? Yugioh God 1000 here, bringing you my updated Chaos Dragon deck profile. This is for the current January 2014 ban list. It's changed slightly with a few new additions to the deck. I think it works more control based, being able to put big beaters on board and being able to hold out from your opponent attacking you, etc., and being able to drop boss monsters. And basically mass graveyard setup and then dropping your hand per game. So hopefully this video gets a lot of interest, because my Chaos Dragons have always been very interesting to my viewers. Now, clearly first up, 3 Light Pulsar Dragons, as you can see. Now this card is the main dragon of the deck because of the loop with Red Ice Darkness Metal, being able to special summon each other back from the grave. It can be very difficult to get over. Being a level 6, so you can synchro for level 7 if you choose to run one, and also what is really handy is you can XYZ for 6, Exhibitor, which can create some amazing plays, and 2500 attack is really good. And next up, obviously we've got 3 Dark Flare Dragons, because we have to up the Dark Dragon count again. So 3 Light Pulsar, 3 Dark Flare is in the build. Again, special summon by banishing 1 Light, 1 Dark, because he's a Chaos monster. 2400 attack for a level 5 is really good too, and his effect is I can dump a dragon from my hand and from my deck to banish 1 card in either player's graveyard. So I can get rid of problem bouging cards in the grave, stuff like that. And it's also faster to Eclipse Wyvern, which I play 1 of. So Eclipse Wyvern, when it's sent to the graveyard, no matter how, because it's mandatory, you have to banish 1 level 7 or higher light or dark dragon from your deck, and then when Eclipse Wyvern himself is banished, then you can add that card back to your hand. So it really gets to the Red Ice or the Dark Armed extremely fast. Next I have 1 Divine Dragon, Apokrolov. Now this card I again tech in because it's so easy to get back a Light Pulsar or a Red Eyes or something like that late game, so you can just ditch any card in your hand, so discard 1 card in your hand, add 1 dragon back, and if you add the Red Eyes, you can then banish a Divine Dragon with the Red Eyes and then secure the loop with Light Pulsar. So again, really handy. Obviously 1 Red Ice Darkness Metal, self-explanatory, best dragon in the whole entire game, and I need to keep it that way. Dark Armed Dragon, again self-explanatory, running darks in the deck, being able to drop him whenever is really handy, and he wins games. Now, Tour Guide Engine, as you get to tell, so 3 tour guides from the Underworld. This tour bus here, you can run, but I'm waiting on another tour guide. So, yeah, 3 tour guides is ideal, because you also have the 4th target for the Night Assailant. So it's basically the tour guide engine, but even better, because there's going to be 3 tour guides in the deck in the final build. So even faster tour guide players, and its dark engine, being able to pop out rank 3 XYZs is always really good. Next, 2 Card Troopers, because run Tragodia. Card Trooper and Tragodia is an amazing combo. Being able to +1 free off Card Trooper and being able to mill 3 and get up to 900 attack is really handy first or second turn, so it's really good to start off with. Next we played 2 Hand Traps, just the 2 Effect Veiler, because they're light, over Max C, which I side deck Max C, and also because it's a tuner, you can synchro 6, 7 and 8 in my extra deck with Effect Veiler for those tricky situations, and also slowing down decks is really important in this format. So and mainly, yeah, because it's a light target. Next, for the Light Sworn Engine, you guessed it, 3 Lila, never running less than 3 Lila, basically an MST, baits out those bottomlesses and tarantulas, etc., and really just an all-round great card, and in milling 3 in the end phase is just amazing. And for the other 3 Raikou, because clearly we need to get around problem cards, problem back row, and again, yeah, Raikou is probably the 2nd best Light Sworn in a milling deck, and that's why it works really well in Chaos Dragons. Next, double Tragodia, dark target as well, because my hand is really big in this deck. Tragodia can get onto a high amount of attack, being at 3-6 and maybe even 4-2 some games, especially with Card Trooper, and the synergy with the levels is just brilliant. Next, run double Chaos Sorcerer, which is amazing because late game top decks are holding on to one for hand, because if you mill the first one you'll likely draw into the second one, and vice versa. If you draw the second one you'll probably draw the first one, you'll probably mill the second one. So that's why I'm glad to be running two, and it just puts on more pressure on your opponent being able to drop one more often. And that with the BLS as well is the 3 boss chaos monsters of the deck, and wins games really easily. And as you see, BLS obviously no brainer in a chaos deck. And 1 Gauze because I run no traps, so I'm going to be open occasionally, and it's always handy to drop a Gauze to back yourself up. And because I run lights in the deck, clearly 1 Honest, because Honest steals games and is too good. That's it for the monsters. Now onto the spells. Triple Solar Recharge, which is absolutely brilliant in this deck because you can speed through 4 cards in your deck, drawing 2 and milling 2 by discarding a lights one. And the reason why I choose 3 over 2 is because you usually mill off 1 of them at least, and that way you still have 2 more to use in the deck, etc. So having 3 is really awesome. Next I play double Lance because if I'm special summoning my BLS or Red Eyes, I don't want it to get bottomless, so I hold a Lance in my hand just to use, just in case. It also, basically another MST, it stops my opponent from getting rid of my monsters and basically wastes their trap cards. Next onto the staples. Charge Light Brigade, self-explanatory. It's basically a mill 6 because you can add a Lilo and then sit on it. Allure of Darkness, being able to draw 2 cards and banishing a dark monster is really good speed in the deck. And of course the 1 Dark Hole, being able to just nuke the field, is really handy and should always be played. And of course 1 Book of Moon, just for another staple spell to kind of slow down my opponent. That's it for the main deck. 40 cards as always, because 40 cards is the best type of consistency. Next onto the extra deck for the rank 3s. Zenmaines, Leviair and Leviathan. So these are the main 3. Zenmaines just to sit, install, and also a beater and bringing back your banished ones. And I forgot one. Giga Brilliant as well, just to boost up the attack all round, getting over problem cards and being able to OTK even easier. Omega, Utopia, and Maystroke for the rank 4s. Again, pretty self-explanatory, these 2, and Omega just for protection against spells and traps. For the rank 5s, Tyrus and Volcasaurus, clearly the best ones so far. Volcasaurus being able to deal a ton of damage and being able to overlay Gaia Dragon and attack possibly for game. And Tyrus because he's protected by himself and he can also blow up cards when he attacks or is attacked. Next, the 2 level 6 or rank 6s are Exabeetle and Photon Strike Bouncer. Pretty self-explanatory. Exabeetle can use Light Pulsar to his advantage and basically get rid of problem cards, and Photon Strike Bouncer is good to sit on with protection if you have a Forbidden Lance, etc. So them cards are really good. And obviously the 1 Gaia Dragon to round up the XYZs because it's an amazing card. Being able to put it on top of your other XYZs and attacking, etc. And it's 2600 attack with piercing is pretty good. That's it for the XYZs. Now on to the last 3 cards, the 3 Synchros. HSE Scythe, Black Rose and Scrap Dragon. Mainly because Scrap Dragon is there for problem cards late game, which I can get into. And also with Black Rose, self-explanatory, nuking the field, and HSC Scythe again with problem cards, because that's the one deck, the one thing this deck has problem with is 1 problem card. So a problem monster or a spell or trap can really hurt this deck. So that's why I've got a lot of outs, and you can also use your side deck to counter that. So that's it for my updated January 2014 Chaos Dragon deck. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to comment, rate and subscribe like always. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, and I'll be bringing you more content in the future. I hope you enjoyed the video, but apart from that, Yugioh God 1000 signing off.